Please be aware that this podcast is intended for a mature audience, and therefore it might have language that is not intended for children. Enjoy the podcast. Motivation. Woo! Do you think this is the sound that should be made for you to be motivated, or for you to hear in your head to be motivated all the time? I'm asking this serious question while my neighbors are wondering why I'm screaming in the afternoon here in my apartment. Probably thinking that I'm drunk in the afternoon, but this is UK, so I guess it's accepted here. But this is not a sound you need to make or to have in your mind, because it's not realistic. A lot about motivation that you hear everywhere in videos and in people that are motivators is always a pumped up feeling, and that's good. It's okay to be pumped up, but how feasible is it for you to keep that state continuously throughout the activity or the action that you're about to do? It's okay to have that mindset, or it's even great to have that initial burst of energy, but realistically, you're not gonna manage to maintain it throughout. So what do you do about your motivation levels when things suck, when you don't want to get up from bed, and you don't want to go to work, and you don't want to go to the gym, and you don't want to cook or whatever you need to be motivated about? It's not all about huge accomplishments. Sometimes you just need motivation to get out of bed, let's be real. And again, you have to realize that you have to, in a way, fake it till you make it. You have to push for the limits, and just do some things, do the activity until it gets to you, because you're not gonna have that energy all the time. Actually, most of the time you're not going to have energy at all. So that's the reality of it. But as Dr. Jordan Peterson is saying, you're looking for something that is meaningful, not something that is expedient, right? So you're thinking long-term development, long-term investment in yourself. And when you do something that is meaningful, when you do something that sometimes it takes you a lot of motivation to engage in, it is super rewarding. It's more rewarding than anything that is, like Dr. Peterson said, anything that's expedient. Because those things are, on the moment they give you great satisfaction, but long term you're gonna regret not doing this, not engaging in this. So putting yourself together in this way is super vital for motivation. Now, what's the theory of motivation? What does it mean as a basic? It means direction and intensity of efforts. So what are you looking towards to do today or tomorrow or for the next months, and how much are you willing to sacrifice, and how much work are you willing to put into it to make it happen? So that is the intensity, but the direction is where you're looking towards. So I'm looking to go to the gym because I want to lose weight, for example, or I want to put some muscle. That's my direction. Okay, it's a general direction. It's very vague. I'm not going to get into the details of how to establish goals yet, but this is your direction. And the intensity is how bad you want it. Am I saying that I'm going to go to the gym and I'm doing it today? Or I'm going to say that, starting Monday, I'm going to go to the gym. So that's one example of intensity, how intense, how much the fire is burning within you to do that thing, how important it is for you. When you wake up in the morning and you're feeling super excited to do things, that is motivation. And again, motivation does not have to be positive. You can be motivated to do something. You can be motivated to drink all night, or you can be motivated to party, or you can be motivated to do something stupid. But this, again, this does not have to be a positive connotation. Hopefully you will do some things that are meaningful, right? Because if you are motivated long term by those negative things, they're gonna come back at you, as you probably well know, but haven't thought about it properly. But that's what's gonna happen. All right, so I'm starting to ramble again. So let's get back to the subject of motivation. So motivation, be internal or external, and internal motivation means basically that you're trying to defeat yourself, or you're trying to, in a positive way, or you're trying to accomplish something for yourself. It's an internal battle. You do it for yourself, you do it within you, or you do it for others, but you're internally motivated. For an example of internal motivation is you feeling better or accomplished that you have lost a certain amount of weight, or that you have finished a race, and that increases your self-esteem. That is an example of internal motivation. An external motivation is an external reward. It's as it sounds. So you get a prize or you get recognition. Now, in terms of duration and in terms of efficacy, which one do you think is going to be better? Well, that would be the internal motivation, because you can somewhat control that. You can pump yourself up, you can have your certain thoughts, you can watch videos, for example, that increases your internal motivation, and that will help you with a session or anything. And it's stable, because with external motivation, you might have the rewards there, you might have the phone or whatever, you might have the parents giving you this gift because you have won the tournament. But those things will not always be there, and those things always change because the expectations for you change. The expectations in a job, in an athletic environment, anywhere, they change for you. You reach a certain goal, you move on. Even if you win a Grand Slam, you're going for the second Grand Slam. So if you have a motivation of external goals, those are short-term, short-lived, even if we're talking about very big achievements, like I said, because you're always hungry for those. And that might be enough to help you push forward and push during those tough practices, during those tough days at work, that you have a goal in your mind that I'm going to be a millionaire and it's all going to be fine, and that's why I'm working every day, I'm waking up. But in the long term, I think that sucks to live always for that external goal. And also living for validation is the same type of shit, because validation for people is just so fleeting. Some people might judge you even if you do great. Some people might judge you if you do bad. That's fine, that's normal. If they judge you, not a problem. Sometimes a good judgment, how do you call it? A constructive criticism is very helpful for you. And you can tell that by people being realistic with you and by somehow offering you solutions. But to get this motivation from outside validation for people that you only see occasionally, this is ludicrous, and you would make your motivation unstable. That's why, as you see in a lot of athletes and a lot of strong people, they have their inner circle there, and they operate within the inner circle that allows them to subtract the motivation from them, because they motivate each other. Because even though they might be relying on the external motivation, it's only within the people that you hold closest. And even this can be dangerous. And I'm sure that very powerful people, very successful people, have very, very many internal goals that they use for their fuel of motivating themselves. And now going back to Dr. Peterson, who is a brilliant guy, a brilliant psychologist. I was listening to one of his speeches, one of his podcasts that is recording during his speeches that he has with many, many people at many, many venues. He was talking about happiness versus endurance, in a way, in a sense. He was saying that, if your goal is to be happy, this is a very, very unstable goal, because you will experience difficulties in life, many difficulties. even the best lives, obviously, we see it from the outside. We see it through the media portrayed as sugar-coated. It's like, oh, look, this is a perfect life. This is where you can get. This is where you should be. But there's always challenges in your life, no matter what your level is. And even more so, as your level grows, you get bigger challenges, I believe. So happiness is, again, if this is your goal, you will have issues because where will the happiness be if you have someone in your family that is sick for 2 years, if you yourself are sick for a few years, if you are struggling financially, if you are struggling physically, if you are struggling mentally? Mental health is a very serious problem that is more and more addressed in today's age, and it's very real. And if you have those situations, any of those, and just to give you a few examples, how can happiness be a motivating factor for you to do whatever you want to do, to get past that mental state or get past those hurdles? It's not enough. What you need is stability, grit. Grit is basically the determination to keep going forward, keep pushing through the obstacles, and be grateful even in difficult times. This is something that we always forget, and I am personally very guilty of this. I'm preaching, but am I applying this information? Sometimes not, and I wish it would be different. Maybe I'll be at a better level right now, but we're always learning and we're adapting. So grit, determination, those are long term, okay? No matter where you are right now, you got to keep pushing forward. This is a motivation that will last. If I go to the gym and I see guys around me that are lifting 200 kilograms at the chest press and squats, I might get discouraged. But this is not the way to go. This is your future goal. This is you can be there. You can get there if you want to be there. And who says you want to be there? You don't have to be the biggest guy in the gym to be healthy. You don't have to be the strongest guy in the gym to be healthy or to reach your goals. This is just one term of comparison, for example. And if you don't achieve that in a set amount of time, you would get down on yourself because you wanted to achieve that and you set an amount of time and you didn't get there. So now, where's the motivation gonna stem from? You lost that factor that is motivating you. So now what you have to do is realize that you are tapping into the wrong source of motivation. You need to set personal goals. You need to set personal targets to get there. You don't need to be like that guy or that guy or that guy. You can be motivated by those people, inspired by those people, but keep in mind that you have your own unique situation. You have your own unique physical body. I might be working 40 hours in the gym, and a friend of mine might be working 10 hours, and he's much more developed than me. Well, then again, it's your body style, metabolism, and everything. But compare yourself to who you were today, not to who you were yesterday. Apologies, not to whomever is compared to you, right? So every day you compare yourself. Am I better than yesterday? Am I better than last week? And better can be very subjective. I agree with that, but it's giving you something more measurable than that guy's there, that guy's there, that guy's there. Again, this is not wrong. You can be inspired by those people and you can strive for those goals, for those big goals. But keep in mind that you're comparing yourself to your progress. I started a podcast. I'm not going to compare myself to Jordan Peterson or to Joe Rogan or to any other podcast, to be honest. This is my endeavor and this is my route, and I will see where it takes me. But every day, every time, I try to make it better. I try to make it sound better. I try to remove the glitches of the sound and maybe purchase a better microphone and get better at expressing my ideas without deviating so much from them, like exactly what the hell I'm doing right now. But this is the important idea: determination and comparing yourself to yourself. And this will take you more further away the road than always contrasting and comparing. Okay, let's get back to the example. So you're in the gym and you're trying to get fitter somehow. Fitter for you might mean lose weight or put muscle or both, or which is impossible, by the way. You can do one or the other the best. But you're trying to do something. You're trying to make yourself better. Well, first of all, you should be grateful that you're healthy to do so, or you're trying to be healthy, but you're still able to go to the gym. And then you should be realistic with your goals. You shouldn't go overboard. You can strive to be like your colleague or someone that you like, but keep it at your own pace and realize that it's a lot of work. In those days that you hate the idea of going to the gym, that you hate the idea of getting out of bed or skipping something, skipping a party or skipping nap or whatever it is that you love, skipping watching a movie, you need to do it. Those are the days that will define your success in the future. Lately, I'm talking about the last 2 months, I've been having real difficulties of motivating myself in the gym, although some sessions are better than the others. But I'm really going through the motions in a way, but I'm still progressing, or I'm still staying at the same level because I have 5 years of gym work before this that I've pushed myself through those sessions that I didn't want to be there. And now I do the same thing, but it's just a little bit easier to do the same thing. It becomes easier. It becomes a mindset. Now, I haven't struggled with this like this before, but again, things change, life changes. We're dynamic people, but if you want to do it, you do it. It doesn't matter. You need to wake up at 5 a.m. You need to stay awake. You need to have 5 hours of sleep instead of 7. If you want to do it, you do it. There's nothing stopping you. Everything that you think it's an excuse, it's probably an excuse. Because if you are motivated by something, you will pull your ass out of the bed. You will pull your ass out of your laziness, and you will do it. And it doesn't mean this will make you successful or reach your goals the way you want them to be reached, or at the time you want them to be reached. But it means that you have done everything, and it leaves no doubt in your mind. And this, my friends, is a big deal. It's a very big deal that you have eliminated your doubts in your head, and will give you confidence to continue other things or the same thing. And it will teach you how to motivate yourself when you don't want to, because this is most of our lives. We got to motivate ourselves when you don't want to do things. Because let's be honest, who's gonna want to work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day? Maybe some people, maybe special people like Elon Musk, and maybe some of you that are listening to me that have a very special mindset of work, or what you're doing, what you're working on, you love it. But let's be honest, even if you do love those things, there are moments where you have to push yourself, where you would rather do something more relaxing, more fun, as you would say. But that's a mistake long term. That's not going to bring you the same level of satisfaction, interestingly, as if you push yourself right now and reap the benefits now and later. And the mental benefits are hard to measure, but they are very, very, very big. So think about all those things when you're struggling to do something and to motivate yourself, and think that it's okay to feel sometimes like a piece of shit, like I'm lazy, I don't want to do this, why am I doing it again, why do I need to push myself again, this should come naturally, because look at those videos, look at those people, look at how passionate they are. Yeah, but this is just a snippet of their life. This is not how it is all the time. You're just seeing a clip of their life. And some people are more motivated than others, for sure. But there's nothing wrong with pushing yourself, because everyone needs to go through that stage of pushing. Again, everything's fine. Keep going, and you will thank yourself later. All right, this is the podcast. Remember, strive to be the best, strive to do the best. And if you fail, be ready to get up again. There's nothing wrong with that. That actually shows that how powerful you are. And you don't even realize, and when I say you, I talk about myself too, how powerful and how strong you can be as a human being. But you are, so keep pushing forward. Don't forget to subscribe and like the podcast. And please make sure you're sending me emails. You can find in the description of the podcast. I've got no email so far. I'm a bit upset. Come on, guys. Come on. Give me some emails. Give me something to talk about with you. I have a lot of subjects that I can talk about, but I want to start a conversation with my audience to see what you're thinking and what you like and what you want to discuss about. And for the next podcast, I will be talking about college tennis. I have done this before in my blog, but I will be addressing it obviously verbally because I wrote it there, and I think it would be more clear, hopefully, if I can express myself correctly. And you will find out some details about college tennis, and maybe I'll answer some questions for you and for the students that would like to go into the US. And again, before I open the podcast, you can send me emails of what you want me to address specifically. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been a coach and I've been a player in college tennis. And I've been a spectator. And I've been a good friend of a guy that's been also coached. So I've been surrounded by people who played or who coach college tennis, and I've been inspired by very, very great coaches in college tennis. And you will make a lot of friends playing college tennis. I'm telling you that. It's great. But again, I'll talk about it in the next podcast. The next time, take care.